So, what if I told you that just about everything you've been led to believe about attraction is, well, wrong? Today, we're diving into a really fascinating perspective on how it all actually works. We're going to break down a viewpoint that says it's got nothing to do with cheesy pickup lines or having perfect looks. Nope, it's something much, much deeper.
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we'll tackle the attraction problem itself, why it can be so frustrating. Then we're going deep into the unconscious mind to see what's really pulling the strings. After that, we get super practical, covering body language and conversation. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with a new mindset that, honestly, changes the entire game.
Okay, let's kick things off with the problem. Why does attraction feel like this impossible puzzle sometimes? It's a struggle a lot of guys face, whether they're single or have been in a relationship for years.
Yeah, so many guys find this just incredibly difficult. And the source material we're digging into today argues that the reason they struggle is because they treat attraction like a math problem, something logical. But that's exactly where they go wrong. See, this perspective suggests attraction isn't something you think your way into, it's something you feel. And that feeling gets triggered in a whole different way.
And that brings us to the core idea from our source, which is pretty radical. Attraction is not a conscious choice. It's an unconscious, automatic response. A woman doesn't sit there with a checklist and decide to be attracted to you. She just feels it. Let's be really clear on what that means. The source material defines this as a gut-level emotional reaction. It happens in a split second, way below the surface of conscious thought. I mean, think about it for yourself, right? You don't make a pros and cons list for who you're attracted to. It's like a switch just flips. This viewpoint argues that exact same principle is at play here. Here is a brilliant way to picture this, an analogy from our source. Imagine you're at the airport, walking through security. You're not actively thinking about that metal detector, are you? But it's there, silently scanning you. Well, the perspective we're exploring today says a woman's subconscious mind is doing pretty much the same thing. It's this automatic scanner, totally separate from her logical brain, and it's looking for one very specific thing. And here's the kicker. What's that detector scanning for? Your relative value. Now hold on, value here doesn't mean money or your job title. It's about your perceived self-worth. The deep subconscious question being asked is basically, does this guy carry himself like he's the prize, or is he acting like he's trying to win me over? And how you answer that question, not with words, but with your actions, is what flips the attraction switch. So if her unconscious mind is this always-on scanner, what's the very first thing it's gonna notice? Right? Your body language. Before you say a single word, you're already communicating your value. So let's talk about how to get that right. Now, our source says to forget all that generic advice like stand up straight or keep eye contact. Instead, it boils down to 3 really powerful principles. Number 1, don't lean in. It can look a little needy. 2, have enough self-respect to walk away if you feel disrespected. This shows you have standards. And 3, and this is the most important one, just be completely, totally relaxed. This quote just nails it. Think about how you act when you're with your best friends. You're not putting on a show, you're not trying to impress anyone, you're just at ease. That state of genuine, effortless relaxation is, according to our source, the ultimate signal of high status and confidence. And it's magnetic because it's authentic. Okay, so you've got that relaxed, confident, nonverbal vibe going on. Now it's time to actually talk. But again, the goal isn't to find the perfect line. It's about how you structure the conversation itself to keep demonstrating that high value we've been talking about. Now check this out. Our source gives us a really practical tool for this, the 50-30-20 rule. The big idea here is to make the conversation about 50% about her, 30% about random, neutral stuff, and only 20% about you. Why? Well, think about it. The person who needs to talk about themselves all the time, they're subconsciously looking for approval. By flipping that script, you subtly position yourself as the one who's doing the evaluating, not the one being evaluated. This chart lays it out perfectly. Over on the left, you've got what our source calls approval-seeking stuff. Bragging, talking about yourself constantly, trying way too hard. And on the right, you have value-displaying behavior. You make her the focus, you can poke fun at yourself a little, and you maintain a bit of mystery. It's really the difference between trying to prove you're interesting and just being interesting. Let's talk about that mystery point, because it's a big one. Instead of just laying all your cards on the table, hold some back. So if she asks what you do for a living, our source suggests you avoid the boring, detailed answer. Try something playful, a little vague, like, "Oh, I'm a professional pirate," or "It's top secret, I'd have to tell you later." It creates curiosity, makes her work for it a little, and that completely flips the dynamic.
All right, let's bring it all together. We've gone over body language and conversation tactics, but these aren't just a random list of tricks to memorize. They're all just the outward expression of the single most important piece of the puzzle, your mindset.
This is it. If you only take one thing away from this whole explainer, let it be this. Real powerful attraction isn't about chasing someone down or trying to convince them you're good enough. It's a side effect. It's what happens when you are genuinely, completely okay with who you are. The moment you stop needing her approval to feel good about yourself, that's the very moment you become incredibly attractive.
So we'll leave you with this question to chew on. How would you act? How would you talk? How would you move through the world if you were totally free from needing anyone's approval? Because according to the perspective we've explored today, the answer to that question isn't just some nice thought experiment. It's the actual key to unlocking genuine, lasting attraction.